I'm a single mom. I have a 10-year-old son, and he's starting to ask questions about like how he was born and love, and I have no idea where to begin with that. So my question is, how can I have the sex talk with him?
First of all, it's not the talk. It's way better to have 52-minute conversations over a long period of time than to try and have one 100-minute conversation of which they hear 30 seconds.
Right, and it's overwhelming, and their attention span isn't long enough for a big talk.
Okay, and even talking to them about just clothing and covering up is starting the sex talk.
Okay.
So, which is great for you, Sylvie, because you did that already.
Yeah.
You made him wear pants.
Yeah.
So, and
Good job.
he said, why? I want to go out and get the mail. And you're like, whoa, pants. and that, like, we cover parts of our body and we respect people's bodies and we don't touch just anywhere on people's bodies.
Right.
That's all part of the consent and sex talk. So that's kind of the first piece.
Okay.
The second piece is, and this is also good news for a lot of parents, you don't have to talk first. You should ask first. Ask, what have you heard? What do you know? What do you think? And
oh, that's a good one.
that way, they talk to you first. You understand what vocabulary they're using. You know what you can correct for them if they're wrong. Because when you ask them to tell you where they're at, you dive in at the right place for your kids.
That's a good one, right?
And that really helps you. And it gives you a minute to take a breath. Because if he's bringing it to you, he's probably doing that in line at the grocery store or in front of your mom at Thanksgiving. Yeah. And you're like, huh. So it's good to know that whenever it comes up, you can put it off, as long as you make a promise and you keep it. But really, this idea of not trying to get everything into one conversation, like I mentioned, I really want to say
start
that,
there, break it down.
Right, when they say, well, I just wanted to know, do you need love to have kids? You can answer that, and you can put a value with the information. That's what schools can't do. That's what the internet doesn't do. That is the purview of the grown-ups in your kiddo's life, to give them a value with the information. And when you get to do that 50 times in his young adulthood and his childhood, then you know he's going to turn out to be more the person you want him to be.
Yeah, thank you.
I have 2 young daughters, and after work, I'm coming home, I'm changing, and the oldest is starting to point at body parts and, is
How old are your
noticing
kids?
2 and 10 months.
Oh,
So
wow.
very young, but the 2-year-old is, pointing and, noticing things, and I'm just wondering, what age would it no longer be appropriate to change in front of them?
This is a question that every parent I know has, because changing in front of your brand new newborn, it's hard to be dressed in front of your brand new newborn.
Right.
So you don't think about that really at all. But I've had a mom say to me, my husband showered in front of the 5-day-old. Is that dangerous? And I was like, can't see how. You just have to keep an eye on them. And it's good to shower every once in a while.
Long as the kid didn't fall on the floor while he was in there, I guess it's fine.
But if, your husband showered in front of your 15-year-old, you might be like, that doesn't feel okay to me.
That's a little creepy.
Where in the middle is it okay?
Right.
Here's where it's not okay. It's not okay if it makes you uncomfortable or when it makes your kiddo uncomfortable. So every adult has a different point at which this happens. Sometimes gender matters, sometimes gender doesn't matter to the person, but as long as it's still comfortable for both of you. Most kids, when they get close to puberty, will start wanting their own privacy, which is a good indicator that they might not want you to change in front of them. And the best lesson you can teach is respect and consent. So you just ask. If your daughter was 7, hey, I was going to change. Would you like to leave the room for a minute, or are you comfortable if I change in front of you? And then you're teaching her about respect and about consent.
Oh, that's a great answer.